Bobby Fischer, born Robert James Fischer on March 9, 1943, in Chicago, Illinois, remains one of the most brilliant and controversial figures in the history of chess. A prodigious talent who redefined the game with his uncompromising style and relentless pursuit of perfection, Fischer's life was a complex blend of genius, ambition, paranoia, and isolation. From his early dominance in American chess to his historic 1972 World Championship victory over Boris Spassky, Fischer's journey captivated the world, and his later years left a legacy as puzzling as it was powerful. Fischer grew up in Brooklyn, New York, raised by his mother, Regina Welsh, a nurse and polymath with strong left-wing views. His interest in chess began at age 6 when he discovered the game through a chess set at home. By 13, he was already a national sensation, winning the U.S. Junior Championship. His rapid ascent continued. At 14, he became the youngest U.S. champion in history, a record that stood for decades. Fischer's play was marked by precision, aggression, and deep preparation. He studied openings exhaustively, often developing new variations that would catch opponents off guard. Throughout the 1960s, Fischer dominated U.S. chess with near-total authority. He won 8 consecutive U.S. championships, often by wide margins, and earned a reputation as a demanding and sometimes difficult competitor. He demanded high fees, strict tournament conditions, and media attention, traits that both frustrated organizers and reflected his belief in his own greatness. Despite his brilliance, he also withdrew from several tournaments midway, citing disputes over rules or conditions, hinting at the psychological volatility that would later define his public image. His international breakthrough came in the late 1960s. At the 1967 Sousse Interzonal in Tunisia, Fischer scored an unprecedented 8.5 and 9 points in the first 9 rounds, showcasing his peak form. However, he withdrew before the final round due to a dispute over scheduling, missing qualification for the candidates' matches. This pattern, of immense talent coupled with self-sabotage, repeated itself, raising questions about whether Fischer would ever reach the World Championship stage. The turning point came in 1970, when Fischer embarked on a historic run through the candidates' cycle. He crushed his opponents, including Mark Taimanov and Bent Larsen, both by 60 scores, a level of dominance rarely seen in elite chess. He then defeated Tigran Petrosian in the final candidates' match, earning the right to challenge the reigning world champion, Boris Spassky of the Soviet Union. The 1972 World Championship match in Reykjavík, Iceland, became one of the most famous events in chess history. It was more than a sporting contest, it was a Cold War showdown. Fischer, the brash American prodigy, faced Spassky, the representative of the dominant Soviet chess machine. The match was marred by Fischer's demands, delays, and apparent psychological games. He arrived late, protested conditions, and even forfeited the second game by not appearing. Yet, once the games began in earnest, Fischer demonstrated his superiority. He won the match 1-2.5-8.5, becoming the first American world chess champion since the title's inception. The victory made him a global celebrity and sparked a surge in chess popularity, especially in the West. After 1972, Fischer largely withdrew from competitive chess. He refused to defend his title in 1975 when FIDE, the International Chess Federation, declined to meet his stringent conditions. As a result, the title was awarded to Anatoly Karpov by default. Fischer disappeared from the public eye for nearly 2 decades, living in seclusion and rarely playing. Rumors circulated about his mental state, eccentric behavior, and increasingly extreme views. In 1992, Fischer re-emerged for a controversial rematch against Spassky in Yugoslavia. The U.S. government had imposed sanctions on the country, and Fischer's participation violated those restrictions. He was indicted in the U.S., leading him to become a fugitive. He spent years in Hungary, the Philippines, and Japan, avoiding extradition. During this time, he made numerous public statements expressing anti-American and anti-Semitic views, a sharp contrast to the admiration he once received. Fischer also invented a variant of chess called Fischer Random Chess, or Chess 960, in which the starting position of the back rank pieces is randomized. The goal was to reduce reliance on opening theory and reward creativity and calculation. Today, Chess 960 is an official FIDE discipline and has gained popularity in elite tournaments as a way to test pure chess skill. In his final years, Fischer lived in Iceland, which had granted him citizenship in 2005. He remained isolated, rarely giving interviews and showing little interest in returning to competitive play. He died on January 17, 2008, in Reykjavík, at the age of 64, from degenerative kidney disease. Fischer's legacy is profound and paradoxical. On one hand, he revolutionized chess preparation, emphasized physical fitness for players, and raised the professional standards of the game. His games are still studied for their clarity, aggression, and tactical brilliance. He inspired generations of players, including Garry Kasparov and Magnus Carlsen, who have cited his influence. On the other hand, his later behavior and public statements have cast a shadow over his achievements. Yet, his impact on chess culture is undeniable. The Fischer boom of the 1970s brought millions to the game, and his name remains synonymous with chess genius. Whether remembered as a hero, a villain, or a tragic figure, Bobby Fischer's story is one of unparalleled talent, unfulfilled potential, and the high cost of brilliance under pressure. His life reminds us that greatness is not just about skill, it's also about how one navigates the weight of fame, expectation, and personal demons.